Law firms everywhere are watching their website analytics with the same growing concern. Organic traffic is sliding down month after month, despite having had a previously effective SEO strategy in place. If you're in that group, take a deep breath and know you're not alone. You're experiencing what every firm is, a 15% to 25% decline that has everything to do with how AI is changing search behavior. Your tumbling metrics are not a failure of strategy, but rather a shift that requires adaptation, not panic. Artificial intelligence isn't killing legal content. If anything, it's forcing long overdue changes in how firms approach their legal content strategy. The generic "what is personal injury law" post that previously drove traffic will now be handled by AI. But when someone needs to understand how a recent court decision affects their case, or whether their contractor's breach gives them grounds to sue, that's where AI is going to hit its limits. And that's also exactly where your opportunity starts. By the time someone searches for your firm, they're likely going to have had a 20-minute conversation with AI about their case. They don't need more information. Instead, what they need is to see exactly how you can help them, including stories and proof that you've handled situations like theirs. While other industries scramble to figure out their AI strategy, legal has a built-in advantage: complexity. When someone has an employment law issue or is facing a litigation, an AI overview isn't going to be enough. These aren't simple questions with straightforward answers. They're nuanced situations that require an understanding of context, local precedent, and human elements that an algorithm can't grasp. This complexity creates a natural filter. Google's latest updates mean that if you want to rank or get mentioned in AI overviews, your content needs to demonstrate genuine experience and authority. If you're creating quality content that showcases actual case experience, you're about to have a lot less competition for the attention that matters. This might sound counterintuitive, but stick with us for a moment. AI is reshaping search, so surely the answer is to embrace AI tools and start generating content faster, right? Not exactly. AI is amazing at synthesis and explanation of information, but the decision to hire an attorney is deeply, fundamentally human. It's a relationship built on trust, and that trust only happens when a potential client feels confident that you understand the law and what they're going through. The new reality is quality over quantity. You're better off publishing 2 exceptional pieces that showcase your firm's specific expertise than 10 generic posts that could have been written by any firm or AI tool. This isn't just about writing better. It's about rethinking the purpose of your content. For starters, focus less on traffic metrics and shift to measuring meaningful engagement. Those vanity metrics about page views matter less when people aren't clicking through from search. What matters now is how long people stay, whether they explore other content, and whether they convert and become your clients. Next, let's move beyond keywords. Google's looking for EEAT for law firms: expertise, experience, authority, and trust. Author bylines matter. Media mentions matter. Demonstrating that you've handled these cases matters. The intersection of PR and SEO is becoming critical for search visibility. And third, shift from information delivery to relationship building. By the time someone reaches your site, they already have the basic information from AI. They're looking for a firm that understands their specific situation. The shift from generic content to experience-driven content isn't as complicated as it sounds. Most attorneys already have the raw materials. They just need to approach them differently. Start by thinking beyond the obvious search terms. The client journey has changed, and your content needs to reflect that. Yes, your potential clients are probably Googling, "How long does a divorce take?" But those surface-level questions hide the deeper worries. And they're the ones that you should be addressing, because that's where generic AI responses will always fall short, and where your experience becomes your marketing asset. For instance, instead of writing an article explaining child custody laws for a particular state, try something like "What I wish every parent knew" before their first custody hearing, or "The custody question." No parent wants to ask, but every parent should. Anyone with access to legal databases could write the first title. The second can only come from someone who sat across from worried parents and helped them navigate these decisions. Next, focus on legal storytelling. The time you helped a business owner understand all their options during a partnership dispute, walking them through scenarios they hadn't considered. The way you guided a family through the estate planning process, anticipating questions they didn't know to ask. how you approach discovery differently because of lessons learned from 100 depositions. These stories show potential clients something AI never can, which is what it's actually like to work with you. Not promises about outcomes, but insight into how you guide clients through uncertain situations and help them make difficult decisions with confidence. Make sure your content is scannable both by humans and AI. The same techniques that make content AI-friendly also make it more readable for stressed-out potential clients browsing your site at midnight. Use clear, descriptive subheadings that match how people search. Break up dense paragraphs with white space. Include FAQ sections that address the follow-up questions you hear repeatedly in consultations. Create a logical flow that guides readers from problem to solution. Add "what this means for you" sections that translate legal concepts into client impact. Keep your focus on conversion, not just traffic. This is where many attorneys get stuck in old thinking patterns. Yes, it's frustrating to watch your blog traffic decline. While there's something to be said for branding, if that traffic wasn't converting to consultations anyway, how much would it move the needle on the bottom line? Instead of tracking vanity metrics, focus on the ones that represent growth for your practice. How long are people staying on your site? Which pages do they visit before filling out a contact form? What content leads to phone calls? Conversion indicators show whether your content is doing its real job of turning readers into clients. Form fills, phone calls, newsletter signups, and consultation bookings are the metrics that ultimately pay the bills. And don't forget authority signals like media mentions and peer citations. In an AI world, these third-party validations become even more important for both search rankings and client trust. For years, larger firms could dominate search simply by producing more content. But when volume becomes less important and quality is everything, a small firm with deep experience and great storytelling can outperform a large firm with generic content. The firms thriving in this new landscape aren't producing the most content. They're creating content that only they could write, based on experiences only they've had. And experience-driven legal marketing is something a solo practitioner can do just as well as a 200-attorney firm, and maybe even better, because you're closer to your clients and their real concerns. This isn't the end of legal content marketing. It's the beginning of something better, where authentic connection matters more than keyword density and publication frequency. You already have everything you need to succeed. Your years of practice, your client relationships, your understanding of how legal issues affect real people. That's not something AI can replicate. The question isn't whether you can compete with AI. It's whether you're ready to lean into what makes your perspective uniquely valuable.